Hello, everybody, and welcome to the Building Excellence Podcast. This is a podcast that's put on by a number of people who they just desire to give you any wisdom or thoughts that they've learned along the way that they think or feel could help you build excellence in some area of your life. Well, my name is Dwayne Walker, and today I'm excited to dive into really one of my favorite things to talk about. I have a few topics that rise to the top, and this is one of them, and that is how to build excellence in the workplace. I'm not sure if you've taken time to think about the idea that is there a bigger vehicle on the planet that hits and affects as many people as the workplace? Like when you think about the workplace and the economic structure of the globe, it's literally based on the foundation of a workplace. Like so many people around the globe just every day wake up and what do they do? They go to work. It's just interesting as we just peel back and just pause for a second and just think, man, everybody is affected one way or another by the workplace. Either it's you're either going to work or you are interacting with somebody who is at work. When you go to the grocery store, somebody working. When you go to the movies, somebody working. When you go to the gas station, somebody working. Uh, we literally are products of the work environment. Just let that sit for a moment. You and I are products largely of the work environment. I would argue that there is no environment on the planet that influences us more outside of our parents than the workplace. What place do we spend 8 hours a day while we're awake for 5 days a week, sometimes 6 days a week? Some people have to work 7 days a week and then they take some days off, like firefighters and nurses and people in the military. Like what days, what places do we see that type of time spent with people? I'm telling you, the workplace is a pretty extraordinary environment when you think about it. When I'm home, I probably spend maybe 2, 3, 4 hours after I get off work awake, and then I go to sleep, right? So I spend so much more time in the workplace. And so I really just am compelled to spend a little time just talking about how do we build excellence in the workplace. So first, I want to speak to the bosses in the workplace. I want to speak to those who are CEOs, executives. Maybe you're a supervisor, a manager. Maybe you're a team leader. Maybe you're a department leader. Maybe you're a regional manager. Whatever your title is, if you are leading people today, I just want to speak to you. The first thing I want to tell you is be more than a boss. Be a person who is passionate about not only making profits and building results for your company, but also somebody who's passionate about building people. Be more than a boss. Be a person that's about building people, by building the best men and the best women that's under your care. Just understanding that they are spending more time with you than anybody on the planet. Be a person that's bigger than a boss and you're focused on building the best mom, the best dad, the best husband, the best father, the best wife. You're building that next person that is going to pour into the next generation. Like, I want you to pause and think about the ripple effects of your leadership. If you take time to actually build phenomenal people, I'm telling you, not only is that person going to yield phenomenal profits and build excellent results for you and that organization, but you are going to see some results also done in their home. And there's going to be a lot of results that you're not going to see, the ripple effects that you're not going to see. That's the ripple effects of how well their home is going to be led, and then how well their children are going to be led, how well their children are going to be led. Your leadership can affect generations to come. So listen, be a boss that's bigger than just a boss. Be a boss that's also about building people, building the best men, building the best women, so that you can turn those people into world changers that are going to affect generations to come. I think my boss, there's a guy named Steve Jones. There was a woman named Christy Jones, a woman named Laura Moody, a woman named Teddy Clanton. Um, those are just a few bosses that, man, I started working for them, coming out of college. Was a young guy. I was a guy that was forming my values. I was forming the kind of man that I wanted to be. And I just can't thank them enough for having enough love, grace, and I'm going to say uh, intent to build me as a man. It's funny that only one of them was a man. The other ones were women. So it doesn't matter what your gender is. All it matters is intentionality. Will you be a leader that says, you know what? I'm not only going to pour into you values and principles that's going to yield me a profit. I'm also going to pour into you values and principles that's going to yield your life a profit. Woo! You hear me? I mean, they made me have a better character. They made me have better integrity. They helped me to communicate better. They helped me to build confidence in my leadership. They helped me to be able to sit in rooms and to evaluate information, understand numbers and financials, and to be able to communicate in boardrooms and to communicate to customers and how to sell and how to do reports and the importance of working hard and commitment to consistency. I can go on the things that they did that absolutely changed my life. So number one, thank y'all. Thank you for building not only me as a leader for your company, but thank you for building me as a leader for my family, a leader for this business. And now I get a chance to pay it forward. So listen, be that leader that where your employee is going to talk about you 20 years later saying, thank you for disciplining me. Thank you for rebuking me. Thank you for training me. Thank you for investing time into me. Listen, everybody, if you're a leader of people, be more than a boss. Be a builder of people. Be a builder of men. Be a builder of women. Be a builder of moms, dads. Be a builder of people that are going to affect generations to come. I remember somebody telling me this. When it comes to leadership, be a fountain, not a drain. I just, I really love that analogy because sometimes as leaders, we can actually think we have nothing to give. Listen, all of us have had experiences. All of us have had moments that we've won, moments that we've learned. I've embraced this training, and that is we either win or we lose. We either win or we learn. We either win or we learn. We don't win or lose. We win or we learn. We learn whenever we take the loss and figure out how we're going to get better. But we lose if we just take the loss and don't do anything with it. So, in my opinion, you're a leader that's learned a few things. So, you have so much to give. So, just make sure you intentionally take time to be that fountain, to be that wealth of information, to go beyond the moments of just profit and loss and and do this or that. Be a moment that also takes the time and says, you know what? Here's something that I've learned. I think this is important for you to do this, and here's why. So now you're instilling into them principles. You're instilling into them values. You're instilling into them the why behind what you expect. And so now not only are they going to be a person that understands the why and is going to be passionate about executing that and achieving higher results, but also they're going to know that you care. One of the most important things you can give your team is the fact that you care, that they feel that you care. So leaders, be a fountain, not a drain. Somebody who just always, oh, give me this, give me your time, make me money, give me your time, make me money. That's it. You're just extracting time. You're just extracting from people, but you're not giving anything back. Don't forget, your job as a boss is not to be a drain, it's to be a fountain. You have a wealth of knowledge, you have a wealth of leadership. You should be giving them everything they have to set them up for success, not only for your company, but also for generations to come. I hope that's helpful. Another thing I want to tell you as leaders, listen, leaders, I want you to learn to embrace your insecurities. You hear me? If you are a leader of people, one of the best things that you can do is embrace your insecurities. We may wonder, what is the definition of insecurity? You know what? It's for the longest time I wasn't 100% sure what that meant. I actually looked it up in the dictionary so we can have common understanding of what uh, insecurity is. The dictionary says this. It says insecurity is uncertainty or anxiety about oneself. It's lack of confidence. So, leaders, I want you to know this. Embrace your insecurity. Don't try to cover it up. And insecurity is uncertainty or anxiety about yourself, it's a lack of confidence. And I'm trying to tell you this, insecurity doesn't make you any less of a leader, it actually makes you a real leader. If we're honest, nobody has confidence about themselves in every area of leadership. And so it's so important for us as leaders to be just real about our insecurities, embrace them, be vulnerable about them, embrace our own humanity instead of trying to pretend like we don't have insecurities and pretend that we're confident in every area. You know, I would say it like this: nobody is great at everything, right? You, not me, nobody on the planet is great at everything. So what that means is that everybody has insecurities in some areas, because insecurity is nothing but lack of confidence, a lack of confidence in yourself in some area. So listen, leaders, I'm giving you permission right now to embrace your insecurities. Embrace the areas that you are weak in. Embrace the areas that you lack confidence in. I'm giving you permission to be vulnerable, to let your team know, to let your staff know that, man, these are areas that I'm not as strong in. And you know what I've learned over time, at least for me, the areas I'm most insecure about are typically areas that I need the most help. Those are typically areas where I need a staff person to cover me. I need a person in my life to cover me, whether it's a mentor or a friend or someone that's an accountability in my life. It's it's a human thing. All of us have areas where we're weak, and so wherever they are, just be vulnerable about it and see if you can surround yourself with somebody that can not only embrace that insecurity with you, that can cover it, that can not expose it, not take advantage of it, but be a person that's going to cover it and then do their best to produce results in those areas. So, leaders, I tell you again, it's okay to have insecurities. Being insecure or having insecurities does not make you any less of a leader. It actually makes you a real leader. We all have insecurities. We all have areas where we lack confidence in an area. The only time that I think that insecurities is a bad thing is when you pretend they're not there. When you pretend and you just cover them up and pretend like you're great at everything. Now that becomes an issue because whether you know it or not, the people around you know that you have insecurities. The people around you know that's not an area of strength. So y'all typically all you doing is fooling yourself. So you might as well just go ahead and embrace it. It's okay. Embrace your humanity. Embrace the areas that you're weak. Be vulnerable with yourself and others and say, you know what? I'm not the best there, but you can have my back. Here's how you can cover me. Okay. Another thing that I think happens when we're a leader that don't or chooses to not embrace our insecurities, I think we're saying this statement: my dreams and ambitions are so small that I don't need anybody else to help me accomplish them. I just don't believe that for my life, and I don't believe that for yours. I don't believe that my dreams, my purpose, my destiny on this planet is so small that I don't need anybody else. I actually believe that my purpose, your destiny hinges on our ability to embrace our insecurities, the areas we're not confident, and to invite others in to learn from, to collaborate with, to give us their perspective, to hold us accountable. I believe that sometimes there are going to be people in our life that's going to know more than us in some areas, that's going to shift the way we think, shift the way we lead, and shift the trajectory of the results that I'm going to produce with my life. So don't be a leader that dreams, purpose, and destiny so small that you don't embrace your insecurities, and so therefore you don't need anybody else to speak into your life and give you any wisdom. Let's be leaders that embraces our insecurities, seeks out wise counsel, seeks out people that we can collaborate with, seeks out people that can cover those insecurities and make us bigger, stronger, better to be able to achieve excellence. So what have we learned so far today? Listen, this is what we learned. Number one is leaders, it's important that you're more than a boss. Be a builder of people, builder of men, builder of women. Help them to be the best they can be. We've also learned that it's important for us to be a fountain, not a drain. Don't just extract things from your staff. Pour into them. Next thing that we learned was leaders, it's okay for us to have insecurities. In fact, insecurities don't make us a bad leader. It makes us a real one. So be vulnerable. Be okay with your insecurities and make sure your team understand that this is an area that you can cover me. Not expose me. This is an area that you can cover me. Before we end this podcast, I want to talk about what happens whenever we choose to ignore insecurities. What happens when we um, pretend they're not there? What happens when we are not vulnerable? Honestly, I think the one of the biggest things that I've seen happen in myself and I've seen happen in others is that they begin to believe the lie that you can achieve your purpose and destiny all by yourself. They begin to believe the lie that or even believe the pride in them that I got this. I don't need anybody else to speak into it. I don't need to collaborate with anyone. And so the result of that doesn't mean they're not going to be able to achieve some measure of success. The result of it just means you're just going to be capped only by the success that you can produce alone. I truly believe that everyone on this planet is designed to achieve results. They're designed to make an impact that's actually bigger and far greater than they can produce on their own. Why do I believe that? Because I believe that we're better together. I believe that we were actually built to coexist. I believe that there are people on the planet that were designed to have a co-purpose and co-destiny with me. They were designed to work with me, work alongside me, mentor me, speak into me, be an accountability partner. They're designed to be wise counsel. They're designed to be someone that has wisdom or expertise in an area that I can go talk to and collaborate with. That can take me to higher heights. So whenever you don't embrace your insecurities, typically what you end up being is a person that's capped by the success that only you can produce yourself, and you end up being a leader that's wise in their own eyes. I just don't want to be wise in my own eyes. I don't want to be the person that's like, I know it all. I got this. I don't need to hear anything else from anybody else. Because I know that I don't know it all. I know that there are areas that I'm going to lack, and areas that I'm not going to understand, and especially in the areas where I lack confidence, especially in the areas where I have insecurities. So I want to do my best to not ignore those, to not cap the results of my life because I don't want to bring people around and to let them speak into it. But I want to be someone that says, this is an area I'm weak. Can you help me? This is an area that I'm not confident about. This is an area I'm insecure about. Will you cover me? And I'm telling you, whenever I choose to do that, I take the lid off of my life. I unlock my life's potential to be the great leader, to achieve the greatness that God has in store for me. So if you want to build excellence in your workplace, I do think it's very important that we choose to embrace our insecurities so we can take the lid off of our leadership and to go achieve excellence that God has designed for us to achieve in our life. All right. So that's it for today, guys. What did we learn? Man, we learned so much. We learned that we want to be a leader that's more than a boss. We want to be a leader that's going to be passionate about building people, building men, building women, so they can be the best people on the planet and not just produce results from our company, but also produce results in their life in generations to come. We learned that we want to embrace our insecurities. We want to be someone that is going to uh, allow others to understand areas that we're vulnerable or lack confidence in. And we're going to intentionally seek people out to help cover those and strengthen us so we can take the lid off of our life and achieve excellence. We're going to be leaders that are going to be that's committed to being a fountain and not just a drain. We're not going to be just extracting from all the environments. What can I get? What can I get? What can I get? But we're also going to be thinking about what can I give? How do I leave the best mark and teach as many people as I can the things that I've learned and the areas that I can best help others achieve success. So thank you for listening to this podcast. I hope that it's helped you. Stay tuned for more. I can't wait to talk more about how we can build excellence in our workplace. The next one I'm going to talk about is how do we hire? How do we best hire people and bring on people to build excellence in our workplace? All right, I'll talk to you soon.